Hey friends, I'm here with my friend Cynthia Anne King. She is a yoga instructor and a stylist,
Hairstylist.
hairstylist. But she is. I want to talk about health with you.
Okay.
You're in the health and fitness realm in your career and your life, and yoga. I'm relatively new to yoga. I did a little bit in college as a elective class. Basically, just had to show up. It was kind of not my thing at the time. I've had some maybe misconceptions or misperceptions about what yoga is or was, and now I'm finding it's really helped me a lot with my work. This series that I'm doing on this YouTube channel of mine lately has been about survivorship, um, struggles with life conditions, sometimes terminal conditions, sometimes hopelessness and despair. But yoga has helped me out tremendously for myself, calming myself, dealing with epilepsy. But I want to know more from a person who is an expert in yoga. Well, who
I
is
wouldn't
it?
call me an expert.
Okay, well, you're a professional.
Yes,
Okay, you're a
I am.
professional. You
Very.
get paid to do yoga, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Um,
I have some knowledge. I'm getting there, learning a few
you know,
things.
so tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came into yoga.
Let's say that. So I've been practicing yoga for about 3 years in December, solid. And when I started going to yoga, I really didn't want to go to a yoga studio. So I did some stuff on YouTube videos, stuff like that. Esther Eckhart is my online teacher. Eckhart Yoga, plug that. But just getting into the studio can be very difficult. So maybe try something in a community center, in the setting that's not as intimidating before you go into yoga. But I finally went to the studio and it was a very accepting studio. And so just baby steps, you know.
I've had an experience with yoga before where I didn't feel it was very accepting. Is that happened to people more, or is that just something that was kind of strange that happened to me? I felt like someone was kind of judgmental about my abilities. I was a
Mm-hmm.
novice at yoga. I was probably
Right.
in over my head in an extremely difficult class for me at the time. Now I do primarily breath work and gentle, deep stretch yoga. But is that something that people encounter much? Is people that are critical, or that doesn't seem like it would be something that would be part of yoga?
I that's a really good question, and I think that's a very important question. That's kind of what drove me to go to take the hours to become certified yoga teacher, instructor, whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm that beginner teacher because, yes, I've heard by many people that they feel judged. It doesn't mean people are judging them. It could mean just that you feel that way because your ability doesn't look like maybe the person next to you, or maybe they didn't. Not all yoga. I mean, not all businesses make you feel as welcome as some others. Like my beloved community, the community in Tulsa where I live. So I think just finding the right community. But yeah, definitely, that's a common thing. Yes, it's very normal to feel that way.
So now back to like yoga and what people perceive yoga as. People who haven't practiced yoga, who haven't gone even to a class, or maybe have just one, and they see it as some sort of religion, Buddhism,
hmm
some sort of what is yoga really, and why do you think people should try it?
Yoga really means to yoke with yourself, or the word means it actually literally translates into union, basically yoking, uniting with yourself. It's not about the poses, so I would highly recommend to not look at Instagram yoga because it's not. Um, that's not what it's about. I mean, it's about coming to yourself.
It's like
And
selfies and shit like that, where
yeah, I
people
mean,
are
it's
just kind of like, look at what I can do, versus like,
and that's fun. I mean, that's what the West has done to yoga. Okay, they don't have people in the people in India don't now that I mean you asked about religion, this is going to kind of cross over to that. So yoga has come to the West, and there are a lot of people that feel like it's been very whitewashed here, and so but definitely on the other side of that, a lot of people who don't know about yoga have asked me if is it a religion? Like, what is it? It just means to unite with yourself. Um, but there are definitely going to be teachers out there that are going to pretend like they're, I'm a human, and that's all I claim to be. I don't claim to be a healer necessarily.
It's true.
At all. I'm not a healer. All I want to do is guide someone to their breath, and then whatever happens, healing will happen, and whatever kind of way you want to heal. So in the end of my classes, I will say, take a moment, and I offer to say a prayer or whatever it is for you. So return to your breath. That's really all it is about.
It's about being present. You think
the postures are not? It? Yes, absolutely.
Like being like more inner focused, less outer focused, because there's lots of stimulation around us. We're constantly distracted by our phones and our computers and our televisions. And when we can take a minute to actually quiet our mind and go in there, there's been studies that I've read that it's the thickening of the middle prefrontal cortex of the brain, which makes us less reactionary. It makes us be able to process feelings, emotions, thoughts without just being more, compulsive. And for me, it's also helped me with epilepsy. I was on a handful of different meds, trying all this different stuff. And now I can actually even drink tea. Before I couldn't have any stimulants at all. I can have a glass of tea now, a cup of tea. And yoga has helped me bring calmness into my life. And I'm not even close to being the type of yoga practitioner that I see some people are that are amazing. They can bend themselves into pretzels
But that's not what it's about, though.
It's not
that's
about
the problem. I mean, that is so there's a big problem here. Yoga is not about that.
It's not about the peripheral. It's about the...
No. The reason why they practice the postures is so they could sit for hours and hours and hours in an easy position, meaning just sit with their legs crossed. Or just sit. So if you have all this energy worked out, even if it's just a softer flow, like all the stuff you see in the West is not what they're doing in India. But it's also, they are doing it, but if you're talking about going to a class and it's all... like it's almost like doing aerobics,
like Zumba or something.
Yeah, exactly. Someone thought that one person asked me if I taught Zumba, and I was like, no.
Most of the people that are in Zumba are in yoga though, at the community center.
And that's great.
I
mean, you do exercise. I don't say exercise. Do whatever is great for you. But since we're talking about yoga right now, is the stretching is great because you release when you like bend over one way and the blood flow releases, and so it definitely helps like for the physical body. It helps. So in yoga we call it the gross body. There's the subtle body and the gross body. Subtle body is our energy body, and the gross body is like this body. But our body works, it functions better when we have better blood flow. And so when you stretch and breathe, you get the blood flow, and then you get the benefit of your nervous system, taking that nervous system down. So, and we can talk further in another show or another one of these about the polyvagal nervous system, if you want to.
Well, that's some great insight, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about yoga, mindfulness, and just kind of healing the body and mind through going inward and less of relying on medications, or less on relying on other people in society to fix us, rather than we can heal ourselves. And I'm a strong advocate of the mind can heal the body, and the potential of neuroplasticity, which you won't hear a lot about if you're talking to a Western allopathic doctor most of the time. There's exceptions, but for the most part, I am a big advocate in integrative health, holistic approach to medicine. I'm not saying stop taking your SSRIs or your anti-seizure medications or anything like that, because, you have to listen to your inner wisdom. I think that's your guy. That's your primary care provider for anybody, is to listen to themselves and
your internal compass.
And you can fail, just get up and keep trying. That's my thing with yoga as well. For me, it's hard. I could barely do anything in yoga. I can't even come close to touching my toes when I started. Now I can almost touch my toes.
That's why we call it a practice.
It is a practice.
And there's nowhere to get. It's just to get with yourself. Just know yourself, love yourself, and if you take anything away from this, just please, this one today, just please know that, or just the takeaway is that please don't compare yourself to others physically and your physical abilities, and maybe investigate other mindfulness and meditation, and then go into some movement, and then that will bring you to your breath. So just take it easy, baby steps, keep it simple. Kiss, keep it simple, sweetie.
I think that yoga helps people. Has helped a person like me who have suffered from codependency issues, like having to rely, and not just in relationships and love and romance, but like always needing people to fulfill themselves. Yoga for me has helped me, like I said a moment ago, to go inward and to just kind of discover my own potential for happiness from within myself. And that sounds maybe a little corny or hokey, but it's so true. And
so true.
And like you said, Cynthia, it's a practice. I like that it is a practice, and it takes work. And you don't know. I didn't notice right away that it was doing anything for me. And then one day I'm like, wow, this has all changed because I stuck to it. Yeah. And I was only 2 days a week I was doing it at the community center with old people.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to practice every day, but if you can just get it once a week, 5 minutes a day. Actually, 5 minutes a day is better than just one time a week. But for in the long run, when you develop a home practice, but if you can find a community center, that's a great. There's usually somewhere if you type in donation yoga or places like that, and you might find that you're very accepted there. And usually there is a kind of that culture of like the snobby yogi. What label is your clothes? That is not what yoga is about. And so that's why Lululemon or whatever. I mean, yes, it's whatever, but who cares? Like, put on something comfortable and go stretch and come back to your breath.
All right. Thanks to my guest, Cynthia Anne King. And we're going to be back with more from her before she leaves town. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Cynthia.
You're welcome. Thank you.